You are talking of BJP, but डराने धमकाने का काम ममता बनर्जी भी करती है. Recently, one person criticized him or used some unparliamentary languages, and she's sending police force. And you are also trying to arrest or at least legally summon Nupur Sharma. So it's the same thing both parties are doing. How do you differentiate it?
There's difference between the two cases. As far as freedom of expression is concerned, I don't know if I'm an outlier, but I do believe that we have the freedom to criticize. Now there is I won't even say it's a fine line, it's a very strong line, it's black and white, between the freedom to criticize and the freedom to incite violence. So if somebody is going and abusing somebody, for example, or using bad language, you may not like it, but I think that, frankly, as political leaders, we should let it go.
Are you saying Mamata Banerjee should let it
go?
No,
that's not a question I can answer. That's a question that I think, frankly, you should ask the Chief Minister, which I believe you did.
And
she
I'm
has
asking your opinion.
It. No, that's a question that is meant for the Chief Minister. I cannot opine on something that the question is to do with something that she can answer herself. I'm just saying in most cases, I believe that one should let, when someone calls me a name, so I know, for example, somebody will come and tell me, Didi, apnake ei boleche. And I'll say, acha, thik ache, boleche. Now, I'm not going to say, get him arrested, right? So I think to that we should be tolerant. But the difference between that and between clear and imminent danger, the test is clear and imminent danger from somebody's words, where it is incitement to violence, where it is incitement to hate, where you can actually have large masses of people rioting or large masses of people who are at bodily harm due to somebody's words. And for that we have the law of the land. So what our French spokesperson said was completely at odds with the law of the land. Like yesterday, Vinda Grover said in court, and I would like to bring that out, I think all of us should know the difference. She said, we are not talking about the hurting my sentiments code, we're talking about the Indian Penal Code. There's a lot of things that we can say that can hurt my sentiments, but they may not necessarily be illegal. So let us try and stick to what the Indian Penal Code is and not this hurt my sentiments code. Now, some people may get hurt by sentiments by, I'm not eating vegetarian food and I'm drinking whiskey. But I may be a Kaali worshipper where I go to Tarapit and I'm giving Ma Tara whiskey and I'm giving her mangsha jhol. So where does one draw the line? So let's not get into the hurt the sentiments kind of thing, but let's go into what is against the law. So if somebody has said something that is against the law, that is directly incitement to violence, then of course she should be arrested. And there cannot be double standards. You cannot have Muhammad Zubair, for example, for exactly the same section, 295, 295A, when he has tweeted from an Android phone, being picked up and harassed and his laptop confiscated, and the other person being given security at taxpayers' expense. That's not compatible.
I'll come to that, but before that, what's your opinion about projecting that film director who projected Goddess Kaali smoking? Now, many are claiming that it hurts religious sentiment. You were saying that something. Do you see that unconstitutional or that's...
I frankly, to me, Goddess Kaali is how you view your God. Right? So some people's idea of God, if you go to Bhutan or you go to Sikkim, for example, when they do their puja in the morning, they give whiskey to God. Now in some places in Uttar Pradesh, if you go there and you tell them that you're giving whiskey or giving something as prasad to God, they'll say, oh my God, that's blasphemous. So I think one's version of Kaali, or Kaali to me is a meat-eating, alcohol... accepting goddess. To me, that is a version of Kaali. And if you go to Tarapit and around all of them, you have all the sadhus smoking, all of that. That is the version of Kaali that people worship. So I think within Hinduism, being a Kaali worshipper, have the freedom to imagine my Kaali in that way. That is my freedom. And I don't think anyone's sentiments in that way should be hurt by that. I don't think that. I have the freedom to do it as much as you have the freedom to worship your God as a vegetarian, white cloth wearing.
So you have absolutely no problem with someone projecting?
I have absolutely no problem. I do think religion should remain in the personal ambit, and as long as I am not interfering in your space, I think we should be allowed that.
But then someone can claim that Nupur Sharma had her own interpretation of another God.
No, that's not another God. She can have an interpretation of another God, but what she's saying is factually, I don't want to repeat what she said. We all know what she said. But that is virtually, that's like coming to you or me and saying, oh, your father, or coming to say that, oh, 500, say 50 or 75 years ago, a lot of people got married to girls who were 13 or 14, or maybe in her own family somebody has done that. Is that someone going to say, so-and-so is a child rapist? Will you accept that? Is that not against? So, there are lines. And in this case, I think the line was very straight. That is not the same as to say that you're being anti-Hindu when you say something against Kaali, and you're being pro-Muslim because you do that. I don't think that's the same.